Bitcoin's next move revealed. We'll take a look at the weekly and the daily charts to see how bullish Bitcoin really is. We'll pinpoint critical areas of support and resistance, decode market sentiment, and see how Bitcoin stacks up to the broader markets. Plus a potential storm brewing on the CME 4 hours chart, a gap. Could that bring some rain? Could that bring us down? We'll take a look and analyze. And base memes are flexing their muscle. They are looking green. We're going to break everything down. We're going to bring you the most up-to-date, sharpest crypto analysis so you can know what's going on in this market. Let's get into it right now. All right, so here we are. Look, guys, I said last week, I thought maybe we could have hit it, but I thought maybe last week I was saying this week, right? The start of this week, at some point we were going to hit this line, okay? Because it was at 87, it would start going down to 86. And lo and behold, here we go, we hit it. Sunday we did move up a little bit, right? Sunday and then Monday, here we are. Here we are. We've been here before. Obviously, we've been above this line before, right? For a little bit, from the 16th of January all the way more or less to the 24th of February consistently. And then between that time and now, we've only had a couple of days above the line. Let's see if this time is the charm where instead of continuously going down this line, finally we can start moving towards the upside. It's too early to tell right now. It could just be a fake out. And if it is a fake out, then I fear that, you know, after a couple of attempts like this, right, after a few attempts of trying to break through and nothing, we would be going back down, maybe even testing as low as 76,000. Too early to tell. Okay, let's hope that this thing does move up. A lot of other things are telling me that it could be, right, that it could be legit, but I need to see at least a couple more days, a few more days of data with bodies over it, ideally starting to get into the $90,000 range. If we can get back into the $90,000 range, then I don't think it would take much to get up to this line of resistance right here, right? Let's say somewhere around next week in April, right? That would be more or less around $100,000, okay? More or less around $100,000. I could see us kind of trying to get back up over here and then spend a little bit of time in this little triangle before eventually moving up before this triangle ends sometime in May. Okay, so that's what I think could possibly happen, but let's see. First things first, let's see if this is in fact not a fake out, but things are looking good. Okay, this is just the daily. Let's take a look at things in the weekly. When in doubt, pan out, and things look pretty strong for Bitcoin right now in the weekly. Okay, after this big drop, 3 weeks in a row moving up. Okay, this showed a lot of indecision with the wicks up and down, but we moved up the week after, and this week so far, I mean, it's really early, it's Monday, but so far so good. If we can hold on to this, maybe build a little bit more, close above this, close a weekly candle above this line, that would show a lot of strength. Ideally, that would be great. At minimum, I'd like to see some daily candles close. All right, so again, things are looking good if you look at it through this way, right? Other factors to consider, Dow Jones. Let's go back to the daily and take a look at that on the daily. Dow Jones back into this area right here, this channel, right, the lower part of this channel. Although we did wick right here, so we did gap right here, so there's a gap there. Nasdaq, same thing, gap right here, so there's a gap there. It'd be interesting to see if they come back and close it. For now, Nasdaq finally got above this line, right, broke through. Let's see if it holds it. I don't know. Look, there's a gap right here, but at least it's above this line. So the S&P back in above this line. That's good, right? Just a few weeks ago, it was a lot scarier for these equity markets. Okay, so that's good to see. What is the DXY doing? It's kind of moving up. Okay, I think maybe, and I'm not saying that it will, but it is possible that it comes back and touches this line, right? Boom, 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 boom. Rejects or sooner, boom, right here, right, sometime in April or something, and then maybe rejects and comes back down. So it wouldn't surprise me based on this to see it kind of move up a little bit more, you know, maybe up to the 105, maybe up to 106. Right now it's at 104. It's still too early to tell. It might just reject right here on the 104.41 and then come back down. Let's see what else I wanted to mention too. Let's take a look at ETF inflows. 5 days in a row, guys. We haven't seen 5 days in a row since this cluster right here, where we went 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row, January 15th to January 24th. Okay, so 5 days in a row is pretty good. Let's hope that continues. We won't know what today's results are until later, but that ETF inflows are finally happening again. That's good. That's good to see. I do like that. Okay. See if we can get anything from the liquidation heat map. On the 24-hour, there is a lot of stuff to get had down here at 86,000. A lot of money, a lot of liquidations to be had. 64 million liquidations at 86,494. At 85,400, that's 51 million. All right, even lower down here. At 84,200, there's 30 million. So there is some downside right there. I mean, to the upside there is some too, but there's a lot more down here. So that's interesting. Kind of would sway me a little bit to be like, maybe short term we kind of reject and come back down. And I'll tell you another thing that kind of sways me to that, and that CME futures gap. But first, let's see this. This is on the weekly liquidation heat map, and again, a lot of action down here. 80,000, 80,800, right? 82,000, 83,000, 84. There's just a lot of liquidations to be had. All right, so I mean that's something to keep in mind. Now let's take a look at this right here, guys. CME futures gap. There's a little gap in the 4-hour. Okay, now the 4-hour is the 4-hour, but so you do see some more gaps in the 4 hours, but they're not as strong, right? They're not as strong as the bigger time frame gaps. Still, there it is right here. Okay, between 85,000 and 84,000. So it is quite possible, and it wouldn't be out of the ordinary with this move up here, right? Move up, come back down, about more than 50%. Move up, come back down, more than 50%. Move up, come back down, around 50%. Move up, come back down, maybe give it all up, test it again right here, not go much lower, than 83, 84 before moving up again. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. That is the dark cloud, that little CME futures gap right here between 85,100 and 84,500, let's say. Okay, so that's what I wanted to bring to your attention there. Why we could possibly see, right, a move back down in the coming days, maybe tomorrow, the day after. Put this on the daily. All right, so just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. If you are still looking to get in, maybe wait a little bit. Maybe you can catch it a little lower. Okay. I don't think. Eventually, at some point, we're gonna break through here. Okay. Maybe if we do have to go down a little bit lower, right, and then kind of try the next couple of days. 86, nothing. We drop back down later in the week into next week. Maybe again try it at like 84 or something like that, or in April. Yeah, about next week. Friday, yeah, next week, maybe break out through here when it's like 86, 85. All right, we'll see. It's too early to tell right now, like I said, but at least this is positive. It's things are looking good. All right, and even if we have to spend another week kind of just sideways consolidating, going back down to like 83, 84, 85, filling that gap at CME futures at around 84, 85, so be it, right? Eventually, I think we are going to go up. Too many bullish catalysts, guys. Too many bullish catalysts. One of them, Michael Saylor's company Strategy, has significantly increased its Bitcoin holdings by purchasing an additional 6,911 Bitcoin for approximately $584.1 million. I wish someone would give me or let me borrow $584.1 million, bringing their total to over 506,137 Bitcoin. This acquisition marks Strategy as the first publicly traded company to hold more than 500,000 Bitcoins, which now represents 2.4% of the entire Bitcoin supply, valued at over $44 billion. The move has led to discussions regarding the concentration of cryptocurrency ownership and its potential impact on the market. Okay, less fears on the whole tariff thing from Trump. Right. Trump also said that he wanted the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates, so that was making some headlines today. So I think there's a little bit of bullishness. As you can see, the fear and greed index is moving up a little bit at 31. Right, but I don't think we're clear just yet. Maybe we give it a week. We give it a week to wait to see what happens here with the 84, 85 in the next couple of days. Ideally, I would like that. I would like it to, if we're gonna come and close that doesn't happen like a couple of weeks from now, like it happened here, right? Get this gap and it didn't close it until much later. I would rather just. Hopefully it just kind of comes in, closes it, we have a volatile week down, and then next week we kind of start moving back up in earnest. All right, so we'll see how it all plays out, but I still wouldn't be surprised if it comes down. I wouldn't be scared. I would just accumulate. All right, I would accumulate if I could, and if not, I would just sit on my hands. All right, guys, And I think that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at these altcoins because that's where the money's at, guys. Let's go look at others really first. Others looking strong, right? Next area of resistance would be right here at 162 billion. Right now we're at 262 billion. Right now we're at 242 billion. All right, and doesn't seem like it wants to come down here. Obviously, if Bitcoin does drop, then yes, maybe we could, but Bitcoin continues more or less, then I could see us kind of going sideways, maybe drop it back down to 232, but eventually we're going to try to get above this 263 billion for others. All right, which would mean that your altcoins would probably go up. Let's take a look at Miggles right here. Right, I noticed that recently it's making this little kind of triangle in this little pattern right here. If it breaks up, I think the next area of resistance would be at 6 cents. Right now it's at 0.038. I would like to see bodies above this line right here, which is at 0.037 right now. Like I said, we're at 0.038. So let's see if it closes there. That would be ideal. And then making some bodies above this would be great, because eventually I think we're going to find a way up here and eventually much higher. All right, Toshi. 3 interesting green candles right there. I don't know if you can see them, and it's making those little tiny candles right at this area right here, which is, I think, strong support. All right, at 3032, as low as 3031. Buying right here, fantastic. I don't know that it goes too much lower. It could, right? It could do something like this below the line, right? But I'm not sure. I don't think so. I would be nibbling, waiting here, taking my chances, because eventually from here it bounces up to the top, right up here. Eventually 002, and eventually after that it's gonna go much higher, guys, much higher. Let me take this off because I don't think we need that now. Yeah, so that's what it looks like, and eventually we will find our way up top here, 002. Right now it's at 003, guys. The chart for Toshi is looking like it's at a great buy zone, as you can see, right? It's been going up this channel. Boom. Eventually, boom again, guys. Boom again, right? Maybe you could do something like this, right? A little bit boring, sideways up through here for a little while, but eventually, boom, going higher. All right, KeyCat. Let's take a look at what KeyCat's doing. KeyCat's at an interesting place, right? I'd be kind of nervous to be filling up right here. Okay, it could prove to be a great area, but I mean, if we can't break through this area right here, where today, for example, it's at 0053, then I fear that we would come back down here, retest down here at 0034. Okay, for right now, I would kind of just wait. Although the last 3 days have been looking bullish for KeyCat, hopefully you position yourself down here and you don't have to worry about it now, right? You're just holding and waiting for this thing to move higher, which eventually it will. And dogging me, look at the strength in dogging me right now, guys. Okay, that's showing a lot of strength. I thought maybe it would drop down, maybe to the 0.05, which was 3097, and it didn't want to do that, right? It held this area right here of support, 0.038. Right, and the last couple of days of moving up. Let's see if it kind of if it can stay over 0.0013. Right now it's at 0.0014. Ideally it would be great, because if we have bodies here, then it's just a nothing move to get to new all-time highs and break past this area, which a coin-based listing would be a perfect catalyst for this thing to just go parabolic, do another 10x or something. Okay, so do with that information what you will. Let's see what happens this week. I am kind of bullish to see. I am bullish, but that CME gap really does give me pause. So I mean, maybe in the short term it would be ideal, if it does drop out. Let's see what happens. I can't really prognosticate and say, well, I could, right? I'd like to see it close this in the next couple of days. I don't know if it's going to happen though, but hey, stranger things have happened. So keep that in mind. And if it does drop like that, take advantage of the opportunity if you can. Buy those projects, man. Look at Miggles, look at Toshi, look at KeyCat, look at Dog and Me. All right, cool. We'll leave it there, guys. If you can, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. Trying to grow this channel, all that stuff really does help. With all that said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace.